Hello, this is a reading for Sagittarius for 2022, New Year's reading, and welcome. I've got a deck out here, got kind of a few readings under our belts now. There's some people hanging out with me right now watching me record these videos live, and we're going to get a reading for you. You start out with 8 of Cups in reverse. I've kind of been reading energy as kind of like, I'm trying to embody the energy of Sagittarius actually. When I read these zodiac things, I've been kind of reading the upright energy and just seeing like the reverse energy is something that was maybe from before. It's so funny. I'm seeing this Don't Drink and Drive commercial that used to be on TV. I'm in Canada, so you might not have seen this if you're from somewhere else in the world, but it's this idea of like these cups and it like shows a car, and then it's putting a cup and then it's putting another cup in front of it, and you can see through the glass in the first one, and then you can't, and then it's a little bit more foggy with the second cup down, and the third cup down it's like you can't see through, and it's like showing like what impaired driving is like based on like putting cups on the dashboard. And I wonder if this has to do with maybe a decision to give up alcohol or something like that, or give up some kind of like that. This feels like a New Year's resolution almost, like it's something that maybe you haven't embodied yet, and it's an idea of putting down the glass. This could be in any form of like some kind of addiction or habit maybe that you're putting down. So I don't know. It's interesting because it kind of seems like climbing a mountain, like it's kind of an intimidating thing. But I feel like there's enough reasons now, it seems, at the very least. You'd recognize the reasons, but you might not understand what it's like to climb up this mountain. So that's an interesting 2022 reading. It's starting with somebody making like a resolution, like I'm going to give this up. Dirk is trying to climb back up. He's deciding. No, Dirk. I'm saying no to Dirk for the first time. No, Dirk. He's been up on the table 76 times today. If you want to see Dirk sleeping during a reading, you can watch Scorpio's reading. He laid nicely on the table for the whole reading, and now I'm blocking him from coming up, but that just makes him want to go like, easily. Well, Dirk's here for your reading too, Sagittarius. I have 6 of Wands in reverse too. It's kind of like, oh, there he goes, and the table. No, Dirk, get down. That's a good boy. I don't know what else to say to him. It does kind of resonate too with that Dirk coming back up the table over and over again. It's maybe something that's going to be like one of those things that keeps coming up. We already told you no, Dirk. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat from the Discord, and we're just talking about a song lyrics on there before I started recording. So this looks like something that people have done before, though. There's kind of like a guaranteed success that comes along with it, because it almost seems like there's support for it. So if it is alcohol, then it seems like something that, you know, has kind of like a foundation, or something that is inevitable, or it's been a long time coming. Now, this could come across as somebody else's energy as well. Either that is maybe something that you haven't fully... Oh, Dirk just decides to do the... He's like... sneaks up on you. He just did the full-blown run up to the table and jump up very quietly, but very effectively. So it might be something that follows you around, and it could be a friend, family member, something like that. There might be somebody who's actually going through this, a long time coming, that somebody gives up something. The broken cups in this deck on the 8 of Cups is kind of indicating that it's just kind of like there's no more reasons to hang on to it anymore. It's about time. That's what I'm getting. And that there's kind of like almost like a guaranteed success kind of coming out of it. Of course, This doesn't make it sound easy. It is still climbing a mountain, but it's kind of like there are steps to take. Maybe somebody's going into 12 step, and they might be at step number 6. Two of Wands. This is resonating as something that you might be considering doing. Now, it could be trying to give up a habit, and what's really interesting here is the idea that you can follow like a 12-step process to give up a habit. Like, you don't have to be kind of like trying to get over alcohol. It could be anything. It could be just like the habit of, you know, watching too much TV, or I don't know, like you've identified something as it's been a long time coming. It's time to give something up. It's time to kind of move on from my old ways. And it's kind of like when you can see other people have done it and you can see what process they used, then it might help to know that there are methods that people can follow for doing this kind of thing. Daughter of Swords, or of Wands, sorry. This snake is really funny. The cats have acquired the really, really big rubber snake. The cats are obsessed with rubber snakes, Colin and Dirk. And when I went out just now to go grab a drink, like not an alcoholic drink, I just have some water here. But when I went out there to go grab my water, the rubber snake, the big one, they found it. I was hiding it from them. They found it and it was on the floor. It could be that that's a thing. Like, you might have found something. You might have stumbled across something. It might have just appeared this opportunity to maybe partake in some form of a program or something. This could be somebody who actually has an addiction. There's this, oh, I see. 3 of Wands here. There's somebody, it's like waiting for you. It was almost like it feels like maybe it was meant for you, this opportunity. Seeing an opportunity appear. That it was just sitting there waiting for you at the right time. And I guess New Year's sometimes feels like that time to do that, but I feel like it's maybe a journey that's going to last you into the rest of the year. Like, it's just something that requires maintenance. 3 of Swords. There is this here, this tendency to kind of be upset that it's a long time coming. A long time coming, and that's upsetting in itself that I didn't do this sooner. And that can be kind of like a little bit of one of those things of like, oh, why didn't I do that sooner? And then we get into that feeling like we can't do it because, or it's more like it's a defeated feeling before we even get started. It's like, I should have done this sooner. Or maybe soon into it, we kind of get a defeated feeling that we should have done this sooner. It's kind of this sense of wasted time. Now, I don't want to like put that on you, like as if that's what it is that you're going through, but it's kind of whatever it is that's coming up in 2022. I feel like it's some sort of a change. It's some sort of putting something down and having an opportunity to climb that mountain. Realizing as you get started that there's something waiting for you to kind of support you in that, and also to have an experience very soon into it that I should have done this a long time ago. So that's kind of a nice feeling. So it could be that rather than it being like see, this is 3 of Swords. It's kind of like, just kind of like we're tied up with a thought that this has been a long time coming. Father of Pentacles. I wonder if somebody's offered to pay for you to do some kind of a program. So this is very specific to somebody, Sagittarius energy, who might be resonating with giving something up, and somebody's offering to pay for a program or something. Or maybe even there's somebody who's willing to support you just in their time. So, you know, there's that whole thing, and I said 12-step about sponsor or something. Let me take this energy somewhere else, because I can't imagine that all the Sagittariuses who are going to watch this reading are going to have this going on. Let's say that it's kind of like that. You're giving something up, or you're leaving something behind, or you're going to kind of change a habit that you have. And there's going to be support for you in that. It's basically 2022. It doesn't have to be as severe or specific as alcohol addiction, but it can be that as well. It's a long time coming. Daughter of Cups. It's the idea of just having a curiosity. So it's almost like all you have to do is express a curiosity and the support is there for you. It doesn't, like, so the mountain, when we're at this point where maybe we're watching this scenario as if we're not quite haven't made the decision yet. We didn't decide to start climbing up the mountain yet. Just showing a curiosity for what it would be like to climb up the mountain. And all of a sudden, we're realizing that there's like this support backing us and also guiding us into the future. There's something very nice about this energy, that there's a bit of a promise in this reading that, ooh, a lot of stuff just kind of fell out of the deck, but I will only take this one. This is Four of Swords. This is recovery. I am really getting an energy of somebody who's kind of maybe going to take something a bit more seriously this year, like some form of recovery from something. Sagittarius energy is always very good at executing once it makes a decision. This curiosity of Sagittarius isn't always the strongest suit, so it sometimes is a hard thing. Curiosity is kind of too vague for a Sagittarius, you know? It's like, what are my options? Two of Swords. Yeah, see, there's this kind of like, there's that other side of things, that side that wants to execute and take out the swords and let's do this, isn't really gonna leave much room for curiosity. And I guess what this reading is saying is, if you resonate with this, there's something to be said for holding some curiosity, because that's actually how the support comes along. Sagittarius kind of likes to be independent and likes to move around on its own and make its own plans and everything. I don't think this type of energy is an energy that plans for you. It's more an energy that's been waiting or is available to support you in terms of time, maybe even money to kind of pay for something, or it's kind of like waiting to, what do you need kind of energy, more like a question mark rather than it being like, this is what you're going to do. So just keep in mind that since we are talking about Sagittarius energy, there is a tendency to kind of like not hold too much space for open curiosity for something. It's more of a planning energy, like I want to plan. That the swords make sense. And it makes sense to kind of like want to do something right away. I see something, let's do this. I think it's this, because the mountain is so obscure. The mountain is so obscure. And defining this mountain and the best way to get through it, it's kind of like, I don't know, if you're going to climb K2 or something. And there's a movie about that I saw. And there's something about everybody takes this same route because it's just kind of like the route that everybody knows, and it's safe and people can do it and survive. And there's even like, there's a scene in the film where they have to just nonchalantly walk by. There's like a body in a snowsuit of somebody who fell and like died, and it's like frozen up there. So like it's just a perfectly preserved like, and I'm not like, this is kind of, don't take that literally. It's so funny because the snowsuit is like bright colors like this. It's the idea of, it's not so much that you would, it's just more like, and it's like literally climbing a mountain and then like falling, that leads to one thing, but it's just, there's a lot of ways to stumble up this mountain is basically it. And there are people who have climbed that mountain before, and they're actually, if it comes to alcohol, it's almost like they've got a deep groove in the mountain. Some people, you know, there's some processes that do have a deep groove, that it's a easier trail to walk, especially because we're kind of, there's like this lamb energy here, a bit vulnerable. So I don't think that you've made that choice yet. Two of Swords is speaking to choice, so it's kind of like considering making the choice. It's a normal, Again, best not take too much advice on this matter from a tarot reading, but maybe more I'm seeing the energy here. In 2022 being about, again, there's this tendency to kind of revert back to the loss of time. I should have done this a long time ago. And I feel like there is somebody that's kind of like in the sponsor system. It's somebody, like I just keep going back to this, but that there's somebody there who knows how to kind of like avoid that pitfall. It's like this place where we can slip back into things is to be regretful of the time. Like this has been a long time coming. Sagittarius, I'm with you. I feel like this is tough stuff here, but I think this is a promise right here that comes, is that your Four of Swords and Four of Wands, it's an interesting, that Four of Swords is kind of like a recovering energy. It's very vulnerable. And Four of Wands is just kind of like an enveloped happiness. You know, it's just kind of like when we invite the energy in that's been waiting for us to support us, that we soon find ourselves in this position here where it's kind of like we start to feel a newfound kind of passion or excitement for things. Sagittarius, and that's where the wands come in. So it's almost like the plan to kind of consider doing it feels very Sagittarius, and then there's a period of time that almost feels super watery, wanting to do something but needing to keep open to curiosity. And then there's this executing energy, wanting to do something again, on all directions. And it's kind of like, if there's anything to do, it's to set your sights on keeping your mind open as best as you can to the advice, not from anybody. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of things to say about how you should go about doing this, but I feel like it's the people who have been through it that have the best advice. See this person, they have like that multicolored jacket as antlers, and it's like, they understand. Don't ask a tarot reader how to climb K2. Father of Swords. Father. If anybody's into religion, that might be something, that there's maybe some support in a religious organization, but I feel like there's something more. The owl is looking right at me and saying, you have some habits of your own that could use this advice, so listen carefully. We all do. We all do. Wheel of Fortune. The time is now, or there is a best time for these things. It could be that it's just kind of, if there's anything that can help you for the time being, kind of get past or avoid, or just more focus your energy toward the goal rather than the time that's been lost, is to remember that, you know, things are cyclical and they go through a process, much like the Wheel of Fortune, that everything has to go in the way that it's going, and everything has to be where it's been in order to go where it's going. I see you going somewhere in 2022 that brings you a newfound sense of joie de vie. Mother of Wands. That snake energy. It's like she's protecting her eggs, and yeah. There's someone who is inspired by what they see, and that's you, I think, down the road. I think you will find some kind of like in 2022, I feel like this is all happening in 1 year, this is a big year for you, Sagittarius. This is a big year if you're deciding to kick a habit, like in one that's deeply ingrained kind of thing. That it would be something like, I'll get some timing on this Mother of Wands. I feel like that's important. It's almost like the 3 and the 4s are quite literal. Like there's like March, April, like it's all very quick. It's like there's this one decision at the beginning of the year, and then it's like by March, April, things are like in a whole different place. And there's this energy of you that you might not see yet, that you will see in and around this time, of you actually being kind of like feeling like you have something to preserve. That might resonate with somebody who might back here feel like they've been losing a lot of time, and now it changes that losing time energy into preserving what I have right here. So I feel like there's something really great coming for you, for whatever it is that you're, I mean, take this out however you need to. If there needs to be like, this is a metaphor for something else, for sure. Or take it literally if it resonates. Away we go. Away we go into 2022. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Thanks so much for watching, and take care. I hope to see you again soon. Meet you here on YouTube for some more readings, or maybe even I do streaming on Twitch. Same name, Tarot Lady in a Church. And excited to see how things go. So, bye.